Hi guys, it's Just Honest Fiction and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite holiday reads. Alright guys, so there are 5 books on this list. 2 of these books I actually read last year, but 3 of them are new releases that just came out that I read over the last week and really enjoyed. So I'm going to break this down by doing just a brief spoiler-free review of each book and then why I liked it, why I didn't. As always, I have timestamps down below if you are looking for a certain book. And if you're unfamiliar with my channel, I post new videos every Thursday and Sunday. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. You can also hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I post new bookish content. You can also check out my Instagram. It is linked down in the description below. And with all of that being said, let's discuss these books. Alright guys, so I'm going to start off with the 3 new releases. The first one I read was The Holiday Swap, and this is by Maggi Knox. This book was absolutely adorable. And it deals with baking, which is something I love reading about, especially in the holidays. So this follows identical twins, Cassie and Charlie. And Charlie is working on a set in LA, and it's kind of like the Great British Bake Off. She's a co-host, and she's just really trying to advance her career. Now, her co-host is a complete jerk, and they're both competing in order to get this bigger job after the season wraps up. Unfortunately, Charlie ends up getting a concussion and can't taste or smell. And if you're familiar with baking, or even if you're not, you're going to realize that it's very hard to bake good things if you can't taste or smell them. So she ends up phoning her sister, Cassie, and begs her to switch places. Now, Cassie is dealing with her own stuff. She is living in her family home where she is trying to take over the family bakery. She's also trying to break up with her longtime boyfriend of 8 years, and it's just not working out. So both sisters kind of think they can help each other out by switching places. Now, obviously, after they switch places, everything becomes very chaotic, and they both fall for different people in each other's worlds. And it is just a complete mess, but so much fun. I really enjoyed this book. It was such a quick read, very funny, and like I said, I loved all of the baking involved in this book. It just really makes me think of the holidays. So I highly recommend picking this one up this Christmas season. And the next book I read was The Matzah Ball by Meltzer. So this book was hard-hitting. I mean, it was very emotional. We're following a main character that is dealing with a chronic illness. The main character, Rachel, has chronic fatigue syndrome, which is a syndrome I knew nothing about. It makes you very tired, but to the point where you have to sleep for 6 months at a time. You just have to really conserve your energy, and I think the author did a really good job of putting you in Rachel's head and just understanding this disorder. I don't know if she has it or knows someone who has it, but I think it was described very well. But Rachel ends up being a girl whose father is this very prominent rabbi, so she's been the good girl all through life, and now as an adult, Christmas is kind of her happy place. So she's always celebrated Hanukkah with her family, and it's not ultra orthodox, but like her family is pretty religious. So she's afraid to tell them that she loves Christmas, especially Christmas romances. So as she grows up, she ends up becoming a writer and has a pen name and only does Christmas romances. And once again, her family has no idea that she is doing this until her author, or her publisher, I guess, tells her that she needs to come up with a Hanukkah romance. She's done too many Christmas romances, and they think the readers would like something new. So Rachel is terrified. She has no idea how she's going to write a Hanukkah romance, and finds out that her ex-boyfriend from forever ago when she was in camp, it was her first love, and he broke her heart, is grown up to become a party planner, and he party plans these Matzah balls every year, which are these huge parties for all of these Jewish singles to get together and meet up. So she decides she needs to go to this Matzah ball. Unfortunately, tickets are completely sold out, so she has to get in contact with her ex-boyfriend, and the story goes from there. I thought this was very cute. It was adorable. I really loved the relationship. I loved learning a little bit more about the culture, and it was a very enjoyable read. I honestly kind of want to go back and reread it very soon. I think it's perfect for the holidays. All right, the next book I actually listened to, and that is Nick and Noel's Christmas Playlist. And this is by Codi. For some reason on Audible, it was showing up as free. I don't know if they're running a promo or if it's because I bought the physical book, but it's really good, and I highly suggest checking out the Audible version. So this is following Nick and Noel. Nick and Noel have been childhood friends, and unfortunately, Noel's parents died around Christmas, so she ends up moving in with Nick's family, and she's kind of raised by them. Now, both Nick and Noel go off to the military. They go off to basic training, and then Noel ends up coming back. Nick stays, and I think he gets deployed for a few years. So this entire time, Nick has had this girlfriend that his entire family can't stand, and when he returns from deployment, his girlfriend ends up breaking up with him. So to make the girlfriend jealous, Nick and Noel kind of do the whole fake dating thing, and then it slowly turns into more. I did very much enjoy this. It is very similar to Nick and Nora's Infinite playlist. You are dealing with the fact that Noel is dealing with loss and dealing with trauma. This is also another one that was a little bit heavier than I thought it was going to be. Noel really cuts herself off from love and is afraid to love anyone because she loved her parents so much and they were tragically killed. So it was a little bit of a heavy, and it's definitely not cut to black. I, for some reason, assumed by the cover, which now I'm realizing you should never assume, it is not cut to black. There are some spicy scenes in this, so if that's something you don't want, don't read it. However, I enjoyed it. So it ended up being a pretty good read, and I highly recommend reading this for the holidays. And these last two holiday romances I actually read last year, but I really enjoyed them. And this one doesn't get a lot of hype, and that is The Tourist Attraction by Sarah Morgenthaler. This book is adorable. It is following Zoe and Graham. Graham lives in Alaska and owns this bar called The Tourist Trap, and he just hates tourists. He wants only townies to live in Alaska, and he hates visitors, and he just wants to preserve the beauty of Alaska and his life. Zoe is a girl that has saved up her entire life in order to get out of her small town and actually visit Alaska, and unfortunately, Graham ends up falling for her, and he doesn't know how to deal with that because, once again, she is a tourist. He doesn't like tourists. And it was just so cute. There's a border collie in it. I grew up with border collies. My father currently has a border collie, and it's just a really adorable read. I will say, this is very long for a contemporary romance, and it felt like parts could have been cut out, and this is part of a series. By far, this is the best book in the series. I actually struggled through the second book in the series, and I ended up DNFing the third book in the series. So the series as a whole, I was not a fan of. However, this one was adorable and so cute, and I highly suggest picking it up. I just love Zoe and Graham. It's such sunshine and grumpy character. It's so good, and it's perfect for Christmas. Please pick this up. I just absolutely adored it. And last up, we have a booktube favorite, and that is In a Holidaze by Christina Lauren. I read this last year, and I really enjoyed it. It's kind of like Christmas Groundhog's Day. So we are following May, and she loves spending every Christmas at her family's cabin in Utah. There's also some family friends that also stay every year, and she has a huge crush on one of them. However, she has never acted on it. And when she is leaving the cabin this year, she finds out that they're actually going to be getting rid of the cabin, and now she's just so distraught. So she pleads to the universe, please help me figure out what's going to make me happy. And she ends up getting into a car accident right as they're leaving the cabin, and she ends up redoing Christmas Day at this cabin over and over until she gets it right. And it is just so cute. I think it has the right amount of slow burn. It has that friends to lovers trope that I live for, and then it also has a little bit of spice, just enough. So highly recommend picking this up. I've already reread this year. I think this is going to be a book that I reread every holiday season. It's just very, very cute. All right, guys, those are all of my favorite Christmas romances. Please let me know in the comments, what is your favorite Christmas romance? Are there any that I should check out? I just love the whole winter Christmas vibe. And I said this already, but I post new videos every Thursday and Sunday. And if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. I will see you all next week. Bye.